And Senator Gore, of course, he lives even closer over here at Carthage, Tennessee. And his father, Tennessee's very proud of Senator Gore. And
thank you, Ralph. Thank you all.
The Gores have been a part of Tennessee politics for a long time, and we've known them and known them well.
Thank you.
Governor, if I might, I've got a few questions that the audience submitted.
All right.
If you don't mind.
Have at it.
And I'll tell you right off the top that most of the questions were about jobs. I'll give you an example. This is from Robert Besaw of Bowling Green, Kentucky. I'm a worker at the GM Corvette plant in Bowling Green, Kentucky. What would you do to slow down the moving of plants like General Motors to low-pay countries like Mexico?
I would, first of all, try to convince everybody that we can slow it down. If you look at a country like Germany, for example, they have twice the percentage of their workers in manufacturing jobs, high-wage jobs, that we do. So we can do that. I would do several things. Number one, I would change the tax code to give incentives to manufacturers to always modernize their plant and equipment in this country. Today, the American tax system actually gives you more incentives to shut your plant down and move it overseas than to modernize it here. We ought to reverse that. More incentives to stay home, no more tax breaks to move overseas. Second thing I would do is to control health care costs. And until we do that, we're never going to be competitive in manufacturing. The average American car's got nearly $1,100 in health care costs. We're spotting all our competitors $600 or $700. So when you go to Mexico, the labor cost alone is only $300 difference per car. It costs you $500 to bring the car back to the U.S. So what kills us is the health care cost. If we could bring health care costs in line with inflation, we'd be competitive again. Those two things alone would make a huge difference in our ability to keep a manufacturing base in America.
All right. Ron Hicks of Raymore, Missouri says, tell us one specific way you can create blue-collar jobs.
Well, I just gave you one specific way, but let me give you another one.
All right.
Everybody knows the defense budget's going to be reduced as we don't have to confront the Soviet Union. It's already been reduced a lot. We've lost 1 million jobs because all the money's gone into the deficit, to the inflation of health care costs, to the S&L bailout. Senator Gore and I favor taking every dollar by which defense is reduced and investing it in creating jobs here at home, in building roads and bridges, in water systems, in waste recycling systems, in high-speed rail systems, in creating an economy for the 21st century and investing in things that other countries are doing a better job than we are. That will all put people to work in the private sector. That is, that money will cause contracts to be let by people who will give blue-collar jobs at good wages to Americans. That plan alone will create another 1 million jobs a year in each of the next 4 years.
Governor, is this the most frequently asked question out on the campaign tour?
Yeah,
how are we going to get back to work?
People are more concerned about jobs and income. The unemployment rate is 8%. It's actually higher, as you know, because we only measure people that are always looking. And even more troubling to me is that more than 2/3 of the people in this country, and I bet you most people in this audience tonight, are working harder for less money than they were making 10 years ago. And that is a very troubling development. So as a country, we have to make a decision. Are we going to keep on being a hard work, low wage country where every year we put more and more pressure on families, more hours at work, less time with the children, less time to themselves? Or are we going to be a smart work, high wage country? My plan is to create a smart work, high wage country. I just don't think the American people are getting what they deserve, and I think we can do better.
Do I have to go to the break here? Okay. I've got some questions for our other guests, and we'll get to those in just a moment. We'll be right back after this.
Do you need some free advice about buying or selling a house? Well, just ask ERA and your friends at ERA Real Estate. They'll send you this information-packed book called Answers. Stay tuned to find out how to get your free copy.
If these laxatives work, why should you consider Dulcolax? Because Dulcolax works differently. It's the only leading overnight laxative with a special comfort coating designed to protect your stomach. Dulcolax is gentle enough for children. And so effective, more doctors recommend Dulcolax than X-Lax and Correctol combined. Ask your doctor about gentle, effective, comfort-coated Dulcolax. Experience the comfort of Dulcolax.
I wanted to ask Mrs. Clinton what HIPPY is.
Oh, HIPPY stands for Home Instruction Program for Preschool Youngsters. And it's a program that we found out about that started in Israel, where mothers are taught to teach their own children, even mothers who themselves are without much education, even illiterate. And we brought it to Arkansas and now have the biggest program anywhere in the world, and it's just making such a difference in both the children's lives and the mothers.
You think this could be instituted in every state?
I do believe that. I think if we really focused our attention on helping parents be the very best parents they could be, we'd solve a lot of the problems that we currently have.
Senator, Senator, I was fortunate enough to be on the New York Times bestseller list for 25 weeks. How long were you on there?
Not nearly as long as your book Memories was on there, Ralph.
No, I just thought I would put the knife in a little bit. You have an excellent book. I assume that this is going to be one of your concerns in the next few years.
Yeah,
What happens to the planet?
Absolutely. I'm taught in my religious tradition that we're given dominion over the earth, but we're required to be good stewards of the earth. And we're not taking very good care of it right now. And the whole relationship between people and God's earth has been changed by the huge increase in numbers, the population explosion, all these powerful new technologies and chemicals, and an attitude that our great-grandparents wouldn't recognize, where we just feel like we don't have to take account of what we do or take responsibility for it. And I think that ought to be changed. We ought to take better care of it.
Can the industrial companies in this country be environmentally safe and make a profit at the same time?
Oh, absolutely. And you know, the funny thing about it is some of the people who pose this false choice between jobs and the environment don't realize that Japan and Germany are both saying to everybody who will listen that the biggest new market in the history of world business is the market for the new, more efficient products and processes that make it possible to have progress without environmental destruction. That's what the marketplace is wanting. And we can drag our feet and pretend that we ought to protect the old, polluting, inefficient ways of the past. But if we do that, we just better be prepared for the fact that once again, our competition overseas is going to move out more rapidly. And we need to stop protecting the old, inefficient ways and start leading the environmental revolution and create millions of new jobs in the process.
I wanted to say something to Mrs. Gore. You are in a city in which one of our main products that we manufacture and create is records. And in the past, you've had a problem with some record companies. I wondered if your campaign is ongoing year after year about the content of what's in the record groove and if they are being properly labeled.
Well, I'm glad that you give me a chance to talk about this. A couple of years ago, the National PTA and the group I co-founded, the Parents Music Resource Center, asked the music industry if they would respond to a new problem, the issue of graphic lyrics, usually sexually violent lyrics, sold to an audience that includes some young children. And we asked them if they could solve that for the consumer in a complex marketplace. They said, yes, we can do that by putting on voluntarily a label that says explicit lyrics. They've been doing that for the past 2 years, and I think the music industry is to be commended in providing this tool for parents.
Governor, I know that in a moment they are going to take you away. I'm enjoying this. They're going to take you away, and you're going to the Opry House for a tremendous rally. Would you do something that we discussed during the break? I asked him, I said, you're from Arkansas, you've got to know how to do that suey pig yell. Do we have any Razorbacks in the audience?
If everybody from Arkansas will stand up and do it with me, I'll do it.
How many?
Come on, everybody from my home state, stand up there.
Well, there's
Come on.
several back over there on the left.
Anybody else from Arkansas, stand up. All right, we're going to call a hog one time.
Oh, wait, Governor, I need to give you that. All right.
No, I didn't want a microphone. You know what I'm saying? All right, we're going to call the hogs one time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Pig! Soy! Well, I know you're a great collector, and Alan Tipper and Hillary and I wanted to give you this model of our bus that we've been taking across America, reaching out to ordinary people, most of whom, like us, are country music fans. And we're going to start our bus tour in Texas tomorrow morning in San Antonio, and we thought if we'd give you this, you might think of us now and then, and we hope you'll keep it and enjoy it and think about us out there reaching out to the heartland of America. We'd also like to say tonight that our thoughts and prayers are with the people in Florida and Louisiana for what they're dealing with, and I know all the people who watch you are thinking about them too.
Governor, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
This will make a wonderful keepsake.
Thank you.
And you go to Texas tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we're going to do a
Tonight?
2-day bus tour.
Tonight.
Well, we're actually going tonight. We'll be there after we leave our rally at Opryland, then we're going to Texas tonight, San Antonio.
Is that the only city?
Oh, no, we're going all the way up north to Waco, through Austin, and then we're going east, all the way in East Texas to Tyler.
Well, good luck.
So we'll be stopping along the way in Texas.
I hope you'll be safe.
We'll be safe.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Thanks,
so
Ralph.
much. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Governor Bill Clinton of Arkansas, Mrs. Clinton, Senator Albert Gore of Tennessee, and Mrs. Gore, thank you very much.
Bless you.
We'll be
Thanks.
back right after this.
No matter what your opinion or who you're for in this election year, the important thing to do is register and vote. You're watching Nashville Now, live on TNN.